The purpose of this video is to run through the use of DVIO Watch when you're using the application to verify phase logic for DeltaV, and it would kind of be at the pre-FAT stage. So it's kind of like when you're in a scenario where you've basically got you've got PIDs, and basically you're trying to make sense of a sequence of control as you'd see in like a functional specification. So I'll give kind of like an overview of the system. So basically what we have here is a mixing tank, and we can add in these ingredients here. And in the background, we basically have this purified water system, and then we have our mixing tank, which is a customer on one of the loops. And then basically what we have then is this holding tank, which is when we've actually done our mixture. The actual the mixture then goes down, and basically just it transfers out here. So I have a screen then done up here in DeltaV, and effectively I'm going to use this DVIO watch application here to give feedback where there's no physical system ready yet, basically to test. So here I have a faceplate where I can kick off my sequence, so I'll do that quickly. So I've hit start, and basically what you're going to see here is that there's a sequence which is kicked off, and effectively this valve up here, this represents the input in from the purified water. So if I go back here, you'll see that this is the input here from the purified water. And basically I can use then the DVIO watch application in order to simulate signals coming back in through the OPC interface. So basically I'll give it a value of 1002, and here all I need to do is just double click. So I double click here, and then what I can see then is that the actual tank, it goes up to 1002. And also it's great to point out that I can see here that I can play with the recipe parameters as well, which is great. So I can reset the recipe parameters or adjust them, very, very quickly. So I'll just move my video monitor here. Here what I can see is that we're inputting a syrup mixture. So the syrup mixture here, we have a pump, and then we have like a control valve. And if I go back then to the P&ID, basically what I'll be able to see then is we have then the pumps and then control valves then, basically adjusting how much goes into the mixture. So here I'll just modify again. I'll go 1203, just something just slightly above what we need. We have an input then of it's 200. So basically what we need to do is we need to show that we're able to input in our ingredient. So I'll just give a double click again. And here we'll see this guy jump to 1203. So that's after happening. Then these guys will cut off. And then what we're doing is we're adding this orange concentrate next into the mixture then. So again, that's been set to have a value of 200 for what we're looking for when we have the, here we can see the ingredient 2 for when we have a mixture of orange set. So basically what I'm going to do then is I'm going to adjust this guy up. So it's going to be 1403, for example. We'll just give him a double click. And what we can see here is exactly where we are. We're in the addition phase. We were adding ingredient 2. Probably doesn't give him a click, I'd say. There we go. So then basically what we're doing then is we're going into a mixing sequence. We can see that we added our orange concentrate. We're not going to add them there anymore. So we're going to agitate then just for a kind of like a period of time. And this is, you can see this guy here. This is where the EM for the agitation has basically kicked off. And he's going to do that just for, just for a short period of time, just for this demo. And we can adjust him as well here in terms of like the mix time, say for 20 seconds and so on. So then what we're going to do is we're going to go into basically into a transfer. So if I go back then just to the P&ID, what we have here is just this mixing tank, and it's coming in from the, we have a holding tank, and basically we just have this acting as a holding tank for a mixture here. So I'll just minimize that again. So basically what we need to do is we need to bring our level way down in our tank. So here I'm just going to type in 1, and then I'll just give them a double click again. And what we'll see then is that as the tank level has gone down, you'll see that the pump is cut off, and then you'll see that the individual valves that they all cut off as well. And basically we end up with the status of complete. So this is just a kind of a system that's just being used as a demo. You can see there's like the PNIDs, and then effectively it's just where it becomes very, very handy is just when you say, for example, you have like an instrument index such as this, and we're trying to put together our DeltaV tags based on the physical I/O that are kind of out in the field. It becomes very, very useful, when you're like adjusting recipes and you're kind of changing variable names and so on in real time. Thank you very much.